Hello, this is Paula Ward, aka Tutu Fit Mama. Apparently, I finally got Wi-Fi. I am in the eternal search for it today. Today what I would like to chat up with you guys about is I've listened to this book about the gift of failure, and I read an article the other day about letting your eldest fail. Let's be honest, with your first kids, I don't care how much you read, and I'm a reader. I like to research everything. You still don't know what you're doing. I'm a nurse, and back when my son was a week or two old, I did not realize that this poor kid was dehydrated because I'm driving, not yet, but with milk supply. And, I don't care how much you think when you're tired or you're stressed, you don't know what's going on. So one thing that my son wanted to do is we were having a local tryout for a national Under Armour team. And I thought, what a great way to get some tips. And I said to him, because of course every 12-year-old boy thinks they're the greatest thing in the world, even if they're not, or they are, or whatever. But I said to him, I go, what if they tell you suck? And this 12-year-old kid's like looking at me like, what? I said, think about it. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to go and quit baseball? Are you going to listen to him? Are you going to change how you're doing things? Are you going to make it a teaching moment? Are you going to listen? And he just looked at me and he says, well, I'll tell him I'll see him next year. And that's what I love about baseball. I know my husband just sees it as something else to do and not about a classroom and about learning. But for me, it's learning how to deal with those failures. And at 12, so that he can deal with it later in life. I don't want him to wait till he's 16 to not, always better himself or to learn what failure is like. Like, that's the things that happen to us now develop how we are in life, in college, and how we deal with things. He initially, the other night, he was worried about some kids that he felt might be on his team for basketball that aren't, are maybe they're not the greatest kids, or they don't play, as a team, and he was just worried about it. But I said to him, like, you just go out and you play. Like, you can't always pick who you work with. You can't always pick who's on your team, but you make it work, and that's life. And he's kind of, okay, now it ended up all working out, but still. I hope that he goes into his experience thinking he's the worst kid and saying, how could I make it better? This is why I love, even like the World Series I've been watching. I wasn't going to watch because all my teams got knocked out, but I ended up finding out about some of the players. I had no idea that Altuve, who basically is from Venezuela, was told to never come back to the MLB tryouts in his country. Can you imagine if that guy, who has hit like crazy amounts of home runs, has been, I think he was Rookie of the Year, MVP for the National League, and is now in the American. What if he listened to those people and gave up? Like, this guy, and the reason why they told him to not come back was because of his height, 5'6". And if any of you guys have seen him play, he's a powerhouse. And he hits like you would think he's hitting just like Judge, who's 6'5". So, and imagine if he had listened to those people, and Peter knew the story about him and knew about his life, and I'm glad that he sees these examples. So never be afraid to let your kids go into something, even if they may not fail or may not be as good as they are, if they're going to go into it and learn from it. So that's my thought for today. I was thinking about it. Today he's actually at a leadership event at Bridgewater State to help learn about preventing bullying at his school, and he was chosen by his teacher. So he's got that in him to be a leader, and I'm glad, because that's what I want for my kids, and I want people to recognize that. And I must be doing something right. I don't always know what I'm doing, but I must be doing something right. So that is my thought today. Let your eldest fail, and hopefully you've given them all the good tools to kind of get them through it and figure it out. And by figuring it out, they're going to succeed in life. And we were allowed to figure it out. Some of us growing up in the 70s, 80s were really left to our own devices, and some of us have become great leaders and great people in our communities and in the world. So that's my thought for today. Have a great day, and I hope this helps you live your best life. Tutu Fit Mama, I'm out.